Hi, love. Hello, and welcome to Co-Creative Healing Journey. My name is Greta. I'm a healer. And this is a pick a card reading where Spirit is wanting to bring through messages about something to aspire to. So, the thing about aspirations is that they create a drive within us and within our realities towards elevation, upliftment, ascension. And so, the messages here are going to be about something to aspire to be, to do, to live, to create, to enjoy, to experience, with the knowing that that aspiration and living it out is going to uplift your entire reality. It's almost like a little hack, a spiritual hack. Do you want to uplift your reality? Well, start aspiring. Aspiration, spiritual energy is right in there. Your spirit is in there. So it's about listening to your spirit, listening to your spiritual energy, and then aspiring to a reality that feeds and nurtures that spirit, that fulfills it at a much deeper level. And so we have here three options. We have security, joy, and authenticity. Timestamps are in the description box. You can pick one or more, and I will see you for your reading in just a little bit. Hi, love. Hello, and welcome to those of you who chose the first option. I have here an awesome message for you about what to aspire to. And so let's run through the cards and I will give you your message. We have childlike expression, fire elemental, William Morris. We've got blessed, Five of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles, Page of Wands, and Death card, which came out upside down. I don't usually read reversals, but I kept it in this way. So, love, the message that Spirit has for you is to aspire to approach things in a very childlike kind of way and very innocent. So the thing about kids that is showing up in this context is that it has to do with how kids do things because they want to do them and then they enjoy it and they play with it and they don't take it too seriously, they don't take themselves too seriously. They do what they feel like doing, and then when they're done and they don't feel like doing it anymore, they shift and they move on to something else. So this is talking about a flow and a simplicity and a very straightforward way of approaching things. Yes, I want to do this. No, I don't want to do this. It's even going into emotions and taking your cues from your emotions. I feel like doing this. I don't feel like doing that. So I'll do what I feel like doing and I won't do what I don't feel like doing. Simple, straightforward, pure. Now, the reason why with fire elemental, and it says, I ignite the fire within me that connects me to the divine, is that it's going to allow you to really rev up your sense of what you are passionate about, what you love, what you value, what you want to do. And it even has a sense of a calling. I feel like you're being called at this time, from a soul level, and you just have these kind of patterns that get in the way of listening to that. Or at the very least, Spirit is saying you're going to be able to hear that calling so much more clearly and to move on it. Why am I saying that you're being called? Because of this William Morris card. It says, bad truth makes good fantasy. To be prolific, be versatile. Art is the methadone of the masses. And the thing of it is, bad truth makes good fantasy. There's something about how you're leading your life right now where you had a belief in childhood with this Five of Pentacles here and this Stone of Security. There's an energy of you needing to get along, Three of Pentacles, to cooperate, to people please also, so that you're not going to feel insecure or so that you're going to have your needs met. This seems to be a childhood pattern, and that childhood pattern is it's not a bad pattern to have, depending on your circumstances, depending on how you live, depending on your family, depending on your caretakers, depending on so many things. And it's not to say that you had a bad family or inept caretakers. Some of you might downright have had that experience, but in general, it just speaks to kind of how we grow up and how we evolve here on the planet at this time, right? This is how humanity is functioning at this time. This is how we're raising kids. We're not growing up where we're able to hold a connection to our core spiritual energy, and you fall into that. And so because of something that was lacking in your environment, because of something that was scarce, there was not a lot of, and fundamentally what that will be was you feeling secure in just being who you are and in expressing what came naturally to you and pursuing that and doing that just naturally. Again, I feel like this, I don't feel like that. I'm hungry, I'm tired, I want this, I don't want that, and being able to express that very, very freely. And again, I cannot stress how common it is. And it's not something to feel bad about. And it's not necessarily, again, for some of you, it could be a deep-seated pattern and issue you need to root out. And for others of you, it's something small to overcome. Either way, Spirit is giving you the guidance to aspire to be yourself much more freely so that you can break through those patterns and actually find a new way. The Three of Pentacles is also kind of talking about that. It's talking about you working with what you got. You got this background. You got this pattern. You got these situations. Five of Pentacles is realized energy. It's not just about lack, it's scarcity. You didn't get it earlier in your life, but you now have to work with what you did get in order with this Page of Wands here to aspire. I love that you got this card because this is literally my Aspire card. This Page of Wands here looking not just to the future, but to something greater. The Page of Wands is looking up in this depiction, looking towards something greater and aspiring and just going like, well, how big can it get? How free can I get? Where can I go? Because Page of Wands is also for me a card of individuality. You do what you want. Very much Aries energy. I want to go here. I want to go there. Again, I want to do this. I don't want to do this. And really, actually, Page of Wands is all of the signs. So it's the Aries individuality, but it's also the heart-centered energy of Leo, and it's also the Sagittarian energy of working rules and structures around us, right? So all of that getting put together, meaning Spirit is saying you've gotten really good at playing the game. You've gotten really good at people please. You know what to do, what not to do. You know where the boundaries are. And now it's time with the Death card to kind of transcend all of that and to stop giving energy into what doesn't serve you anymore. You see that this Death card, the Rider is moving away from what is diseased, what is falling away, what is dying. It already is dying. It's not working. And on the flag, there's the white rose, which represents love and divine love at that. This is a higher love for you to give yourself. And so if you are aspiring to be a lot more free in your expression and how you are and how you show up and how you go about things, you're going to allow yourself to release a bad truth, an inaccurate truth that may have served you at once, but it doesn't anymore. And it's, if you were to go on off the basis of that old truth, which is much more about people pleasing and fitting in, then you would actually arrive at living a fantasy version of yourself, a fantasy version of your life, and you get to step out of that. Once you start to really listen to yourself and do things the way that you want to do and live how you want to do, you're going to really light a fire inside of you. And that fire connects you to the divine. So you're going to connect deeper into your spiritual energy, to who you really are, and become a lot more passionate, not just about your individuality, right? Becoming passionate about your right to be you, to listen to you, to follow through on what makes sense for you and what is good for you and where you want to go and how you want to lead your life. You're going to become a lot more passionate about that, but you're also going to become a lot more passionate about a very specific calling, about a more real experience of reality that is calling for you from deep within, from your spirit. With this card, Blessed, we have a master number 22. A master number 22 is a master manifestation, master builder also. So this is also talking about you becoming someone who has the ability to create a reality, to create things, experiences that will be working according to the laws of spiritual energy and not the laws of the world. So that's what a master builder does, creates things that are not they're not subordinate to the rules of the earthly realm, the earthly world. So you can create things that are supposed to fail. You can create things that no one else believes in, that doesn't make sense to anybody else, but in following your truth and doing what you want, you're in alignment with the spiritual energy, and so you will be blessed with success. You will be blessed again with master manifestations, meaning that this is not something easy to do. It's not just like that. You flick your fingers and it's done. Otherwise, everybody on the planet would be living that. This is something that comes from a practice, and the practice in this instance would be this aspiration of being so much more yourself and of flowing in this much truer, pure, and much more immediate way. It's very interesting because I'm also thinking that this kind of thing requires a lot of self trust. And I'm looking at the cards. Where does it say something about self trust? Well, it doesn't, because you don't need that. You have that. This is who you naturally are. This is how you naturally function. So you don't necessarily need to learn anything. And that's what Spirit is saying. There is work to do on this path. It's a page. And so the page has to move to the knight, the queen, and the king. And I feel like you are intended to gain that kind of mastery, but Spirit is telling you that all you have to do is aspire to go on this path, to start the journey, and it will come to you. You see this page behind them, they have kind of working with I mean, in this instance it almost came up with the energy reverse, that it really is talking about people pleasing. It's talking about collaborating when you don't really want to, making do also. And then we have this Five of Pentacles, which is scarcity, just scarcity of the things that you want to be and to do and to live and to experience in this earthly realm. And the Page of Wands turning their back on all of that and then moving forward. Death upside down is implosion. You pull away energy from things and they don't have a leg to stand on. We are energetic beings. We feed things. So with your aspiration, you're basically being asked to learn to start feeding something new, which is, again, this truer, freer, more flowing way of being yourself, of moving in the world, unshackling yourself, unburdening yourself, freeing yourself with this Page of Wands, becoming much more individualistic in how you go about things. And from there are truths that are going to be revealed themselves. There's passion that is going to awaken, and a whole new way of being and doing and living that is really, really going to transform your world. This is like a rain of blessing. You see here, don't know if it's showing up. She is flying like on a there's a wind of hearts here. Love, a wave of love. And that is what you can attain to. That's what is possible for you if you will just aspire to set yourself free to just be you, and then to see that through. And again, this is not something complex. Spirit is not saying like be more authentic and so on and so forth. It is about finding your security in these natural, organic ways and impulses that you have to be you. So love, that was the reading. Those were the messages. I hope that they served you. If you enjoyed this reading, please like, comment, share, subscribe. And I would love to hear what you think of this reading and how it spoke to you. And if you would like more in-depth work, then I do offer intuitive readings where we work on soul connection, self-love, love and relationships, and life purpose, where we really go deep and yank out dysfunctions at the root and enact a lot of healing in your life. And then I also have created some healing work where you can speak it out. It's all written out. You can speak it out and then co-create some really, really powerful healing for yourself. So all of that is in the description box if it speaks to you. It starts from the smallest to the biggest processes. So there's a whole range of things on offer. I am sending you lots of love, wishing you all the best, and I'll be seeing you around. Bye. Hi love, hello and welcome to those of you who chose the second option with the Joy Stone. We have here an awesome message for you, so let's move through the cards and I will give you your message of what to aspire for. We have an overall energy of priorities. We've got Flames of Wisdom Crone. I am open to all of life's wisdom and share it with gratitude. We have Orlin, Don't Fear Pain, Art is an Anesthetic. Do you like who you see in your petri dish? Become your paradigm. We've got Y, Knight of Cups, the Chariot, Major Arcana number 7, Major Arcana number 3, the Empress, Major Arcana number 18, the Moon. So we have a lot of Major Arcana energy, and this is a heavy hitter message for sure. The guidance that Spirit has for you is to aspire to putting yourself first in a very healthy way and getting what you need to get done first and foremost. So let me give you an example to really explain what that is and this energy more clearly. There's something called the baby steps. It's a financial plan by Dave Ramsey Solutions, I believe it's called. And it is a way of coming out of debt and building financial wealth. And so, one of the principles is that you have to, pay off your debt, pay off your house, and then be generous with people. So within the plan, there's the notion of being generous with others, but first you pay off your own house. First you pay off your debt. First you build up your savings. First you build up your retirement. It's the same concept as when you are on a plane and you have a crisis, you have to put on your own oxygen mask on before you help anyone. Even if it is your child or someone, a loved one that is with you, you put on your mask first. And I used to have a lot of trouble with that. I just didn't understand. It's like, no, of course you put on your mask, the child's mask first. But with time, with this Flames of Wisdom Crone, there is a deeper wisdom here at play. And this is something like, another example is that there was this motivational speaker called Jim Rohn, and he used to work with people, and when people would ask him kind of what to aspire for, he would give them the advice to aspire to be a millionaire. Not because they would have $1 million, just not just for that, but because of what creating that $1 million would make of them. What would they need to become in order to have that? And that's the wisdom of things, and that's the wisdom of the message that is here for you. If you are at a certain age, I do feel like no matter your age, you've lived through enough to understand, to be at a point in your life where you can understand that for the tree to go really strong, the roots have to be solid, and the roots are beneath the ground, and it is the roots, it is the tree that then the trunk that then allows the tree to open up and have branches and have fruit, and to be able to provide for animals, and to provide shelter for certain animals, for food for others, to provide us with food, to provide us with shade if we need it, right? So it's about you putting yourself in a position, again, why it's so important that you understand why this is so key, and also why this is going to be life changing for you. With the Empress here, you're someone who's very nurturing. And with it showing up in major arcana energy as opposed to maybe a queen, this is a core aspect of who you are. You are an incredibly creative being and an incredibly abundant being. And it is going to really rev up your abundance to put first things first, to align it in a way where it makes sense. And you are, through your priorities, demonstrating that you have a correct awareness of what abundance is and where it is sourced. You have to be in a really good place yourself so that you can accentuate, so that you can increase the amount that you're able to give to others. And Spirit is saying, with Become Your Paradigm, that is what true generosity is. You are someone who's very loving, very kind, very generous at heart, and you are commended for that. Spirit sees that in you and loves that about you and would not change it. It's a matter of becoming a lot more strategic and a lot more wise in your use of generosity. And again, with this Flames of Wisdom, Spirit is saying you've had enough experiences where you've experienced the dark side of being so generous and of being so giving. And it's not about not being generous and giving, it's about doing it in another way where you give so much to yourself that then you can show up, right? You have your cup filled and you have what you need, and then you can be generous, and then you can move towards others with a lot of love and a lot of care, which are hallmarks of you. But with the Chariot, there are issues, there are circumstances. For some of you, they're very pressing issues, very pressing circumstances where you need to be taking care of you, and you need to be giving to you and putting yourself in a position where you transcend a lot of issues, a lot of problems. You move past them with the Chariot here. You put yourself in a state of victory over your own issues, your own circumstances, especially a focus on the darker things, things that are weighing you down and keeping you from the success that you want to have, that you need, that you want, that you deserve. To put yourself in a place where you leave that in the dust, and then you can come back to being a lot more generous. But you got to take care of you first. And for some of you, this is about your time, this is about your money, this is about your plans. How are you planning for yourself? Maybe you're putting other people first and then pushing back plans. For some of you, this is dreams. This is things that you want to create, some things that you want to be, that you want to do, that you want to live. But then there's this person to take care of, that person to take care of, or first I got to finish school, first I got to do this, first I got to do that. With the moon here, because this is a guidance that is coming from spirit, and spirit is watching over you again, and I really felt this card also when I was talking about spirit really loving your generous nature. You're being watched over from spirit. So if you decide to go on this path and to start prioritizing, right, as aspiring to prioritize yourself, just the aspiration, and then moving down, a path will emerge for you. And this path has a tremendous amount of magic on that path. There's a way in which things will come together. There's a way in which there will be an unfolding, and you will be guided. You may not see it. It may seem mysterious. You know, how could this possibly work out? How could I go on this trip that I've been dreaming of my whole life when I have this bill, or have school, or have this, or have that? Well, it can work out in ways that you would not even imagine, that you could not even foresee here and now. There are possibilities, but the possibilities arise when you set yourself in a right alignment, and that right alignment being very much you understanding why. So, you know, when we do things, we can do the same action, but it can come from two very different energies. So you can give to someone and feel like you have to. And that is not the same as giving to someone from a space where your heart is just full with generosity. And ultimately, you are being guided to stand in a space where you have so much abundance and you are so well taken care of and you have everything that you need. And from then, your abundance can overflow to others. You are so fulfilled, completely filled up. And then your abundance can just overflow to others, and to start giving to them, and to start being a true blessing. What you will give from that space is going to be a true blessing. And with why, you're really actually also going to create so much more to give. In other words, you're actually stunting the potential for the abundance that you have to give, for the joy that you can create in your life and in the lives of others, by depleting yourself, by not fulfilling yourself first. Become your paradigm. Again, this is what true generosity is about. This is what true abundance is about. This is what true compassion is about. Compassion is not to give to someone while taking away from ourselves. That would actually be closer to pity. And that's not the same energy. It could be the same action, but it's not the same energy. And therefore, it's also not as powerful when we give it to the other person. It's not as healing. It's not as true. It's not as liberating. It's not as uplifted. And so again, there is wisdom that you have developed that you can lean on to know that what I'm saying is true. And then you can take this to the next level. There's so much more for you to learn. There's a whole, almost like a school of wisdom for you to learn fundamentally, about generosity and abundance, but at a deeper level about you and how much you can give and what your potential is. This Knight of Cups is also this energy for me of inspired action and moving in an inspired way. And so there is a message here also about being more discriminating in how you give, and kind of allowing spirit to inspire you to give. Sometimes we give because it's expected, or we give to people please, or we give because it's standard, right? So for all kinds of reasons, or just because, you're very generous. But there is also a wisdom here to learn about when not to give. And that's when sometimes, you could see a homeless person, and then you want to give them something, but spirit is going to inspire you to say, no, not this person. And it's not because they're a bad person. It's not because they deserve it, but maybe they're more likely to drink that money away. And then you walk 5 steps, and then spirit says, yes, this person. And then you give them that money, and they'll have a place to sleep at night. You don't know. And you're not supposed to know. So that's part of the generosity that you can aspire to. A generosity that is a lot more inspired, and that can really evolve into a whole new way of moving through the world and leading your life, that can be very, very profound and transformative for you. He's holding a lotus here. There's this kind of enlightenment energy to it that is here for you. in the guidance that Spirit has for you about what to aspire to. So if that was your reading, I hope that it served you. I hope that you enjoyed it. And if you did, please like, comment, share, subscribe. And if you would like more in-depth work, I do offer private readings where we work on self-love, soul connection, love and relationships, life purpose, and we go really in-depth, pull dysfunctions out at the root. We activate your whole reality to enact some really powerful healing. And I also have written down healing work where you can do basically the same thing and co-create really powerful healing for yourself, from the smallest levels with energy clearings to the highest levels with huge processes that go up to a year and more. So it is all in the description box if it speaks to you. And I will be seeing you around. May you be blessed always and in all ways. Bye, love. Hi, love. Hello, and welcome to those of you who chose the third option with the Authenticity Stone. Such a perfect match with this message. I'm kind of amazed, actually. Let's run through the cards and I will give you your message. We have got Harmony with Master number 22. We've got Reach for Your Dreams. I am the creator of my own dreams and achieve them with confidence. We have Rem Koolhaas. Breathing is secondary. Don't forget to think. A good manifesto is foremost legible. Reconsider your concept of small versus big. We've got Treasure Island, King of Cups, Two of Wands, Major Arcana number 16, the Tower, and a Nine of Pentacles. And I love this. So the place where we have to start first and foremost is not even what Spirit is aspiring you to. It's who you are. You are someone who is a creative powerhouse. You are someone who has the ability to create whatever you want to experience, to create the dreams of your lifetime. Excuse me. This is something where you can think about where you've been and what you've done, and it really doesn't matter where you are right now at this point in your life and moving onward. You have the ability to create anything that you want. 30 is the age that we're at when we have moved through one Saturn cycle in our lives. It's about 29.5 years. So it's speaking to me about having been through a cycle of work and growth and evolution and being done with that, and now being able to move forward and to create whatever it is that you want. You've paid your dues. You have paid your karmic dues. You're karmically free, and you are, by virtue of who you are a creative powerhouse, and you have the ability to create anything and everything that you want. So knowing that that is the case with the Two of Wands here, there's a message that's coming through. A Spirit is saying, just because you can do something, that doesn't mean that you should. And the message here is for you to aspire with Master number 22, which is the number of a master builder. Again, this notion of being able to create whatever it is that you want. Spirit is asking you to aspire to create a life for yourself, a way of being, a way of doing things, a way of living that is in harmony with who you really are and what you really want and what you really desire. This is actually the energy of the sacral chakra. So it talks a lot about appetites, about desires. That there sometimes we can have these grandiose dreams. We consider the concept of small versus big. Grandiose dreams, even grandiose aspirations, and they're actually not what we desire. And here, you're very, very capable of doing this. You're capable of creating the most big, amazing, very visible constructions, right? You may even have a field where your name could go down in history. You have all these skills and all these abilities. But the question here is whether or not you would experience it as true abundance. And that's what Spirit wants you to reconsider, to rethink, and to set up aspirations that are much more in alignment with this Nine of Pentacles, with the kind of life that you truly want to lead. With Major Arcana number 16, the Tower, I feel like this could be shocking for you to hear. This can even be shocking for you in relation to what you've planned. It would be a big redirection, a big departure, and it could be very different from a lot of the readings that you have been hearing. And so, hear me out. Or just in general, what Spirit is saying is not to settle, because sometimes we have these things when we are growing where we think we have to aspire to the best possible thing. A lot of people do this. Like, I want a husband who makes $100,000 and he's a pilot and he's this and he's that, and just the list goes on and on and on and on. And it's almost like if you say, well, why don't you aspire to having a husband who makes $50,000? Then it's like, why are you telling me to settle? I deserve this. I'm worthy of this, and so on and so forth. So they're triggered in the sense of self. But you have a really, really good sense of self. You're showing up as the King of Cups. And so Spirit is saying that you've grown, you've healed, you've evolved, you've been through the cycle, you've done a ton of work on yourself, and you're a lot more secure in yourself. I've started recently to interpret this card in this new energy. Yeah, it showed up around there. To interpret this card as being yourself no matter what is going on around you. Brings us again to this authenticity energy. You have this capability, you have this ability. And even the upheaval of changing your plans or changing what you're aspiring to would be an upheaval in your world, but you have the capacity to sustain that and to move through that and to stay yourself and to be yourself and even to become even more of yourself, because you are strong enough, you've grown enough, you've evolved enough, you've done enough work on yourself, personal growth and development, that you can approach a redefinition of your dreams and aspirations without making it personal, without taking it personally, and understanding again, Two of Wands, just because I can do it doesn't mean that it's what I want, that it's what I desire. And again, there's mastery of the desires and the ability to make those desires come true. Where are we going to go? We're going to go to this treasure island. You see how this turtle has the chest on their back and they're moving forward. The abundance is there. It is with them, and it is you. You are the abundance, right? You are the source of your own abundance. And so if you set goals for yourself or manifest a reality that is out of alignment with what you truly consider to be abundant, you're actually going to dry up your source of fulfillment, and you're going to dry up your source of abundance. There's a hint for what to aspire to, actually, how to redirect, and it's this Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles is living off the work that we've already done at the Eight of Pentacles. So it is about thriving off of that work, benefiting from it. It's also a card of passive income. It is also a card of independence, having your own business. But again, the notion of investments, passive income, and a kind of more leisurely life is coming through. Whatever you're aspiring to, in the sense of making it smaller, it is in fact to make it something that is requiring less of this gung-ho Two of Wands energy. I'm going to make it happen over and over and over again, but to create something that is a lot more automatic in the sense of how it provides for you, how it gives back to you, and especially that you create something and aspire to create your dreams in a way where you are benefiting off the work you've already done. With the Two of Wands, you might be trying to set off in a new direction, create something completely new, and Spirit is saying that you really need to check yourself, right? You may be wanting to aspire to something greater, but you may want to check yourself to see if that's really what you want, because there is an aspiration here of an easier life or more pleasurable life or more leisurely life also, and taking in that aspect. Definitely getting this energy of time to smell the roses, of time. Time is a resource, yeah. And keeping more of that time for yourself. Maybe even keeping more of your money for yourself. Keeping more of what you have, of what you gain from the work that you've done, keeping more of that for yourself and making it work for you. Back to this harmony. Harmony is about being in alignment with where the energy is. And so for some of you, this is actually something temporary. It's about starting smaller with where you are and what you have, and then you can build into something bigger later on. So you don't aspire to it now, you don't go for it now, you wait later on. And for some of you, it's a different kind of change. It's like maybe you have the talent to become the next big superstar, but do you really want to? Is that really in harmony with you? Is that really the kind of life that you want to lead? Is it really what's going to make you feel happy and feel like you have an abundant experience? You might have millions of fans, but if you can't walk down the street without being recognized, will you really experience that as something abundant? There's so many levels to this. You can make a business and have that business be incredibly successful, but it won't necessarily be in harmony with who you are and the kind of life you want to lead, because you're working 80 hours a week. Is that really what you want now, right? Just because you can do it, just because you can make it happen, doesn't mean that you need to. And also, Spirit is saying with this Nine of Pentacles that you can make something else happen that will be successful, just in a different way and at a different level. It's just a different kind of rules and a different level of abundance. Maybe instead of being that incredibly huge superstar, you start a school and you teach what you know how to do online, and then you create tremendous amount of profits. You're still doing the same thing, it's just in a different realm, in a different way. And that's me saying to go from big versus small. But it could also be the other way. Maybe you're planning on being a music teacher and Spirit is saying record that album, make it bigger, take it to the next level. Again, just because you can be a music teacher and you can live off this much and you can thrive off this much doesn't mean that that's what true abundance is for you. Maybe you need to have 1,000,000 fans and to make millions of dollars and to then experience the abundance that is harmonious for you, for your energy, for your being, for this creative powerhouse that you really, really are. This is for you to question, this is for you to wonder, this is for you to decide for yourself, but definitely to aspire to more harmonious, to be in alignment with your energy and what it really wants to create now at this time, what it wants to create at all, what true abundance is for you, and for you to aspire to align to that. It is so giving. It is amazing. It's like, I feel like Spirit just gave you a huge key to happiness here and now. So I hope that it will serve you. Love, that was your reading. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment, share, subscribe. And if you would like to do deeper work, I do offer intuitive readings where we work on soul connection, self-love, love and relationships, and life purpose. And we go deep. We pull out we pull out these dysfunctions by the root, and we set into motion massive healing in your life. And I also have created healing work where we do pretty much the same thing, but this is you speaking the words and calling upon Spirit to co-create massive change and transformation, healing in your life. And it goes from the smallest levels where there's just basic energy clearing and you can just clear stuff, clear negativity, embrace positivity, for example, to the longest processes that can go up to 12 months, even 16 months. So if you're interested, it's all there in the description box. Sending you lots of love, wishing you all the best, and I will be seeing you around. May you be blessed always and in always, and so it is. Bye.